heard much about Dr. Wallach, Joel Wallach, and he's with me today on This Is Your Day, and I pray the Lord will really use this man to bless your life and bring health back to your life. And by the way, thank you for being my wonderful partner and friend. I really mean it with all my heart. Thank you, thank you. Doc, I have heard much about you, and I'm glad you're with me. 74 years young. Look at him. You look like 55.
Well, thank you, sir.
Pleasure,
It's an honor and a blessing to be with you, Pastor Benny.
Well, I'm so glad you're with me. Doc, what is it about you that makes you so different than everybody I've ever had on the program who is dealing in nutrition? I mean, you have a lot of amazing ideas. You just told me a few things that were quite shocking. But I want to hear why nutrition is working and conventional medicine is killing people, like you said, like more people have died. Say that again.
Oh, more people are killed each year by medical doctors in America than the mafia does in 1,000 years.
Well, how can you say that?
Well, because it's a fact. These are government statistics from the Center for Disease Control. Each year in America, medical doctors kill, injure, and infect 15 million Americans. Each year in America.
Because of
negligence, carelessness, don't wash their hands, simple things like that. Give misinformation. It's a big problem.
You've helped a lot of people.
Millions, Pastor.
How?
Well, first of all, the good Lord is giving us the guidance.
You're a Christian, born-again Christian.
Yes, correct.
So
Absolutely.
how have you helped people?
Well, the thing that makes my view different is that I have a degree in agriculture, and I understand soil and plants. I'm a veterinarian, and so in veterinary medicine, animals get the same disease as humans do, but we don't have insurance. We don't have health insurance for animals like we do for people. Health insurance has been the worst possible enemy of human beings because doctors use people as an ATM machine because of the health insurance. In veterinary medicine, if you don't cure the animal on your first visit to the farmer never asks you back because he doesn't have insurance to pay for treating a bull for 25 years. You got to do it the first time. Then I'm a pathologist. I've been on big government projects, NIH projects for the federal government, where I did over 20,000 autopsies, 10 million chemistries. The book's in the Smithsonian Institute is a national treasure, 1,200-page thick book. And the bottom line of the story is that every animal and every human being who dies of natural causes dies of a nutritional deficiency disease. I actually discovered the cause, prevention, and cure of cystic fibrosis back in 1977. And when I pointed out that it wasn't a genetically transmitted disease, which is what is generally thought by the medical profession, it was a simple nutritional deficiency disease during pregnancy, that we could prevent cystic fibrosis. We can reverse it even after the baby's born very quickly, reverse the genetic markers. We can do it. And they fired me because they said, you must be sniffing glue, Wallach. Because you can't do that, it's genetic. I said, no, sir, it's not. Do I get to defend my research like a PhD student? No, you're not even a contract, you're fired. So I went back to school and I became a physician so I could treat the kids. It's been the biggest blessing in my life to get fired so I could be a doctor and I can heal people now.
And you've been doing it for?
35 years.
Okay, so what have you found that works, really works?
Well, what I've learned through the animal industry is that all vertebrates, whether you're a hummingbird or a human being or an elephant, all vertebrates require 90 essential nutrients, 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 essential amino acids, 3 essential fatty acids, just like an automobile requires oil and gasoline and oxygen and spark plugs. There's certain things we require. And in the animal industry, since we don't have insurance, we don't do things by chance. So we put everything we know that the laboratory rat needs in his little alfalfa pellet. And in a can of dog food, you read the label, the dog's got everything he needs. There's no chance. We eat well. We squish the tomato and we smell the tomato and well, it smells good, it tastes good, it'll make good stew and good tomato soup, but we don't know what's in it, for good or for evil. And so what I've come up with using the animal concept and philosophy is to put everything we know that vertebrates, including humans, need, and then whatever's in the food, whatever good stuff is in the food, is value added as opposed to depending totally on it. That way, we're at least treating ourselves as well as we treat dogs. And doing this in the animal industry, we've eliminated 900 different diseases in dogs that still plague people. We've tripled their lifespans Pastor Benny, 60 years ago, an old dog was only 8 years old. Today, they're 25 years old. We didn't do that with organ transplants or genetically engineered proteins or stem cells. We didn't do that with wonder drugs. We did it simply putting vitamins and minerals in their food. And so 35 years ago, I began to do this for people, and praise God, it works.
And yeah, you helped Creflo Dollar, or was it?
Yes,
his,
sir. Yes.
Was it his daughter or him or who?
Both. It was his. First of all, it was his daughter. She was 11 years old when I first was introduced to them by Andy Young from the Civil Rights Movement, and he and I were very good friends. And Pastor Dollar's 11-year-old daughter had terrible asthma. It was progressively getting worse. And the doctors pulled him aside and said, Pastor Dollar, this child's not going to make it. She's not responding to medical treatment. And so Andy Young introduced us, and we put her on the 90 essential nutrients. We got her on a gluten-free diet, and praise God, in 2 weeks' time, she was cured.
2 weeks?
2 weeks, yes, sir. And that was 12 years ago. She's perfectly normal today.
And now you go to a church, I hear, and do seminars or something.
Yes, yes. I give 300 free lectures a year. I do this around the world. I'm trying to keep up with you.
Can you help people with cancer?
Yes, we can help people with cancer,
How?
type 2 diabetes, arthritis, Alzheimer's disease.
Let's talk about cancer.
Okay, cancer first. Well, first of all, cancer is a self-inflicted disease. It's not genetically transmitted. And so then...
When you say self-inflicted, you mean because of food?
Because what we eat, what we don't eat, the things we do to ourselves. For instance, there's a wonderful piece of research that came out of the University of South Carolina in 1998. They showed very clearly, we're talking about 90,000 nurses for 20 years. It was part of the nurses' health study. And their part was to look at how the nurses cooked their food. And they found out that if women cooked their roast beef medium rare and ate it medium rare, it reduced the risk of breast cancer by 462%. But if they cooked it well done and ate the meat well done where the fat was burnt, it increased the risk of breast cancer by 462%.
Wow.
It's been known since 1957, if you supplement with 200 micrograms of selenium every day, a trace mineral, you reduce the risk of breast cancer by 82%, prostate cancer by 69%, and it costs you 20 cents a day. Now that's insurance.
Sure.
See, that's insurance, not paying the insurance company to pay the doctor when you mess up. And so also trans fatty acids, which come from oils, things like salad dressings, cooking oils. You eat canned fish and they're packed in oils instead of water, mustard, tomato sauce. Things like I said, fried foods, and these sorts of things turn into trans fatty acids, heterocyclamines, acrylamides. Short order cooks who fry potatoes and fry fish and fry steaks and fry chicken, they get lung cancer without smoking. More people get lung cancer from frying food and inhaling the fumes with trans fatty acid in it than they do from smoking.
I have never heard that.
That's a fact.
Wow.
This is why I say these are self-inflicted things, and here's where the doctors have failed us by not sharing that message.
So how do we reverse that?
Well, just by you asking those questions on this program, you're going to save millions of people because they'll say, I didn't know that. You mean all I have to do is eat my roast beef cooked medium rare instead of well done? I can reduce my risk of breast cancer by 460%.
Eating roast beef medium well.
Medium rare.
Medium rare.
Will reduce your risk of breast cancer by 462%.
I've never heard that from anybody.
It's published.
Where have you been, Doc?